Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just settle into this moment, kind of like we did at the beginning of the call. And if there's any part of you that's feeling a little bit skeptical or a little bit unsure about how this is going to work, know that that's totally okay. And if you'd like, you can even bring in a sense of curiosity and wondering what this is going to be like. If you've experienced the arrow before and perhaps it worked really, really well for you, or it didn't work very well for you, just know that this unique experience is going to give you exactly what you need. And so I'd like you just to, if you'd like, you can relax your eyes closed, or you can just kind of zone out and keep your eyes open. And just become aware once more of being supported by the surface beneath you. Become aware of the temperature of the air on your skin. Just allow your jaw to slightly separate. And I'd like you just for a moment to become aware of that pain you were feeling. Perhaps it's a physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain. Just become aware of it. Noticing how it feels in your body. Even if it's an emotional pain, imagining that it is being represented in your body somewhere. And I'd like you to notice how intensely you feel that pain right now on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being almost unrecognizable and 10 being excruciating. Just notice that level between 1 and 10. And then I'd like you once more just to notice the feeling of being supported by the surface beneath you. Notice some area of comfort in your body. Perhaps it's your left elbow or your right calf muscle. Just notice some place in your body where you feel comfort. Just imagine just for a moment that you could drop your awareness into that sensation of comfort. That's right. And now I'd like you just to playfully imagine, in the way that's right for you, that you could float up above the place where you're sitting right now. Float way up, all the way through the ceiling. Keep floating almost like a child in the park who's released a helium balloon. Floating peacefully, safely, pleasantly. Floating up until you can look down and see the earth beneath you. The whites of the mountaintops, the green grass, the blue ocean. Noticing perspective. And I'd like you to notice that beneath you is a large, multicolored target. You can notice all the different colors of the rings of the target. And you can notice right in the center of that target is a bullseye. And inside that bullseye is every single bit of pain or discomfort that you've been feeling. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental pain, that it's all in the center of that target. And in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to make this sound. And you're going to be shot like an arrow through the center of that bullseye. And I want you to be really brave, because you might experience that pain intensifying just for a moment, but know that it's okay, because that's the last time you're going to experience that pain again. And when you get through that target, you're going to find yourself on the other side in a space of bliss, comfort. So be brave and get ready, and whoosh, shot through the center, and now on the other side in that place of bliss. Experiencing that floating, that comfort, that ease. Even becoming aware of a sense of being loved, a sense of being held and supported. And I would like you to imagine that you could just drift and float now across the room that you're sitting in, and look back at your body here in this space, noticing what you're wearing, noticing your facial features, noticing your body here, feeling relaxed and comfortable, memorizing comfort, memorizing relief, memorizing peace. And then I'd like you to just drift back over and settle into that body only as quickly as you can completely memorize these changes on a subconscious level, so that your subconscious mind, even without your conscious awareness, is even now putting everything into place that lets you experience comfort from now on. That sends signals that tell you to take good care of yourself in a new way, and that you easily respond, and you do take good care of yourself, don't you? You do remember to take good care of yourself. You know that it's okay to nurture yourself. It's okay to just be kind to yourself. It's okay to give yourself pep talks and say, I can do it. It's okay to allow comfort and health in your body. And so as you drift and float back into that body, back into right now, into this present moment, I'd like you just to go ahead and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Begin to notice the temperature of the air on your skin. That's right. And you can go ahead and open your eyes and come back fully into right now. And then I'd like you to tap back into your body, and I'd like you to notice that discomfort that you were feeling at the beginning, and notice how it's changed on a scale of 1 to 10. And if that physical, mental, or emotional discomfort has gone down, will you just show me by giving me a down signal? Woohoo, I see Barbara, Steve, the other Steve. All of you, this is so awesome. I love this. I love doing these calls. It's so fun for me. Okay, I'm really excited because there's still 50 people in this virtual room with us. So I'm going to go forward and talk a little bit about exercise and how you can create a positive exercise regime for yourself while in quarantine and self-isolation. And this is actually really similar to the advice that I already give inside my weight loss program, because like I said before, I would like for people to detach the idea of exercise and weight loss from one another, so that you realize that you can maintain a healthy body just by following that winner formula, by eating between the parameters of 3 and 7. Even if that seems foreign to you right now, know that you will get good at it. And that exercise is useful for restoring our mental clarity, our physical health. So we exercise to feel amazing and to take good care of ourselves, not to lose weight, not to burn off the extra cheesecake, not to earn an extra piece of cheesecake at dinner, but we exercise to allow ourselves to feel healthy. And so I'm going to be talking, I actually have this book right here. This is one of my favorite books. That's a lie. This isn't one of my favorite books. I've only read like the first 2 chapters, but this is one of my favorite people, Dr. B.J. Fogg. He's a scientist at Stanford University, a behavioral scientist. And I watched one of his TED Talks years ago, and it changed my life. It turned me into the kind of person who wanted to exercise regularly, who would exercise really well for a few days and then become sedentary again, into the kind of person who craves daily exercise, who thinks of myself as an exerciser. And it was all by making a little tiny habit. And I resisted this idea for a long time because I'm such an all or nothing person. I want to go big or go home. And so when I understood the science, like this man has dedicated his life to this, and understanding, okay, I can trust this, I allowed myself to try it out, and I was really pleasantly surprised. And the idea is that you just find a little pocket in your day where you can add exercise. So BJ Fogg, in his TED Talk, he wanted to build some strength in his body. So the first thing you want to do is you want to decide exactly when in your daily routine you're going to put this habit, and make it be something that you automatically do already, like brushing your teeth, getting out of bed in the morning, flushing the toilet. So BJ Fogg, every time he flushed the toilet, he did a push-up. And he found that it became easier and easier to do more and more push-ups until he was doing something in the ballpark of 100 push-ups a day. And this is so cool because there's a gentleman in my weight loss program who is, I'm not sure how old he is, how young he is. I believe he's in his 70s, and he shared that he just started this habit. Every time he flushes a toilet, he does some push-ups, and he was up to 52 push-ups. And this is while he is being completely isolated in quarantine, he's building up his strength and his stamina. So if you have this idea of, maybe you're home with kids, or our life is just, it's like someone has taken a snow globe and just shaken it around and everything is in disarray and upheaval, disheaval. That this is something that you can do that will make a tiny difference. And what it does is it begins to program your mind to realize I'm the kind of person that enjoys exercise. And if you find yourself feeling so invigorated after just doing a couple push-ups, and listen to your body, do what's right for you. It might be a couple squats. It might even just be bouncing up and down on the balls of your feet, because that sends energy into your body and it tells your body, I'm okay, I'm happy, it's okay to feel good. Before I got on this call, you guys, I do this often and it's such a silly thing, but it makes such a difference. I wanted to make sure I delivered massive value and that I was in the right mind frame. And so I got up out of my chair. I walked over to my window where there's this amazing blue sky. Isn't the sky amazing lately? And I imagined scooping in sunshine and just like sprinkling it over the chair that I'm going to be sitting in. And then I imagined this amazing like wave of energy going between you and me so that you were getting massive value and I was picking up on your enthusiasm and becoming even more enthusiastic myself. So when we use our imagination to start to let energy build in our body, it makes us want to exercise. And even if we're not able to get out and exercise for as long as we would like, can you imagine if you just took 30 seconds every time you go to the bathroom, or 2 minutes every time? 2 minutes is actually a long time, according to BJ Fogg. Just a few seconds each time you brush your teeth or take a drink of water, that you would start to send a message to your body that I am safe, I am at peace. And my friend Lisa, she was on the call earlier. I don't think she'd mind. I think I asked her permission to share this, but she said she's been setting a goal to drink 100 ounces of water. And this is going to be so easy for you all because I've just given you hypnotic suggestions that are going to make you crave water throughout the day. So each time you drink water, it's going to make you go to the bathroom more frequently. And she said that every time she goes to the bathroom, she's holding a plank for 1 minute. So you can come through this experience and be on the other side of this COVID-19 thing that's happening, however that's going to look, being stronger and healthier just by taking little snippets throughout the day to take care of yourself. And if you really want to send a message to your body that it's okay, I was going to share this earlier and I just realized I didn't, but I think a lot of reason that many of us are struggling right now is because this is uncharted territory. We've never experienced anything like this before, and there's a little part of our brain that's going into fight or flight, and it's thinking, do I need to store fat so that I can be in this for the long haul? Like, what if a famine is coming? It's almost sending this message to our body where our subconscious is generating these urges to put on fat. And so an exercise that you can do to help send a message to your body that it's okay to shed extra weight is to do some kind of, and please, I am not a doctor, I am not a physician, so take this with a grain of salt and do what's right for your body. But it's to do a sort of a plyometric exercise where you're jumping, where you're finding some explosive energy. And if that's not comfortable on your knees or your joints, you can do this just by maybe, like I said, bouncing up and down on the balls of your feet for a few moments, doing something that is protective to your joints, but it's sending a signal. What it does is it like, you want to get your heart rate up where it feels like a sprint, but just for a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or a minute. And it sends a signal to your body, the same signal as if you were being chased by a mountain lion. And it says, oh my gosh, I need to get lean. I need to drop weight so that I can stay healthy and strong. So there's little things that you can do that actually send that signal, in the same way that this COVID-19 thing is sending a signal to our body that we need to pack on fat for a famine, that it sends a signal to your body that you need to release extra fat. And I'm not saying, I hope that word fat doesn't offend anyone. I'm picturing like this physical substance that's on the body, that it's safe to release that because it keeps us healthy. It's healthy to be lean. It keeps us safe to be lean. All right, so I'm going to peek at, dancing. Yes, absolutely. So I see some comments here. BJ Fogg, Tiny Habits. Thank you, people who are looking at the chat and answering questions. I appreciate that. I love it that Paris suggested dancing. Dancing is one of my favorite things. So I moved into this apartment in January, and I moved here just so that I could be across the street from my gym. I'm literally looking at my gym right now, and it's like my happy place. I love it so much. And so it was almost like I mourned the closing of my gym more than anything else. Why am I telling this story? I had a really good reason for bringing this up. So, oh, one of my favorite classes to take over there, Jan, I can see you laughing at me. I love it. One of my favorite classes was a dance class, and I'm a terrible dancer, but it's like releases so many happy chemicals in the body that I just don't care. And so when this all went away, the dance instructor that had been teaching dance started streaming the dance lessons online from their living room. And it was really cool. So I would dance here, and I've noticed, that's when you think about changing the 3 Bs, one of the most powerful ways you can do it, if you're getting bored of this or whatever, is just to start dancing and just be ridiculous, or even just bounce around. And it doesn't matter if you're dancing poorly, you're creating happy chemicals in your body that create an unhospitable environment for cravings, for urges, for depression, for anxiety. You're literally turning those things off and turning on positivity in the body. All right. I think that's everything. So now I'll just go ahead and answer questions. So if any of you has questions, you can ask in the chat, or you can turn on your microphones, and let me know if you can't turn on your microphones. I think I have it set so that you can unmute yourself, turn on your microphones, and chat with me. I see Paul saying my gym is close too. I walk in quiet neighborhoods and make sure I walk lots of hills each day for an hour. That's awesome. I think walking is one of the most soothing things we can do, because it almost puts us back in that experience of being in the womb and kind of rocking back and forth. And it sends a signal to our body that you're okay, that it's safe to just be comforted. Steve, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say I love dancing as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so grateful you're here. It's so cool seeing you all on this call.
Good to see you too. And thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm just going to look at these comments. I see Snoopy Happy Dance, where you throw out your hands and look up. Oh my gosh, I love that. I'm going to have to see if I can find a video of the Snoopy Happy Dance. Okay, signing out, have to leave. Yeah, you're welcome to leave whenever you'd like. I will put this recording in the replay, on the page with the replay. Yesterday, I listened to fast music when I did my daily walk, and I noticed it made a big difference. Not only was it fun, but I walked faster. I love that. That is a great point. Music is a great way to elevate our mood, is it not? So if you were listening to your favorite song and kind of just bopping along to the beat, it would be almost impossible to think about that craving that you had. So it's a great way to turn off cravings and to change those 3 Bs. Lori, when is a good time for you to talk about breath work? I am not sure. Breath work. I'm guessing that means breath work. I'm like, if anyone wants to talk about breath work, message me privately. I don't know where that conversation will go, but so talking about breath work. Oh my gosh, am I blushing? I'm glad now we're down to 35 people on the call. Anyway, I believe that when we change our breathing, it can change our life. And I recently posted on my page a link to a friend of mine who is doing online breath work sessions. Breath work. So if any of you is familiar with Wim Hof breathing, my understanding is that it's similar but different, and it just allows you to go into that subconscious part of you and make changes without conscious effort and experience the relief and the release of some emotions. So if any of you is interested in that, feel free to message me privately and I will connect you with him. His name is Ben, and his partner who teaches the breath work is Meg. And I don't have their contact info offhand, but I would be happy to send it to you. Yeah, so that's a great question. Let's see. I'm seeing more comments about the Freudian slips. Okay. Okay, is there a free group on there's a free group on Facebook? That's from Jacqueline. Okay. All right. Does anyone have anything that they want to share or ask before we sign off? If I missed a question earlier, the chat is so big and long, and I don't want to make you all sit here while I read through it. So I'll read through the chat later and perhaps make another short video answering questions. But if anyone has anything they'd like to ask me before we hang up, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we'll sign off in a moment. And if you
Laurie,
need,
can I ask you something? Sorry.
yes, you
It's
can,
Zoe.
Zoe. Hi, Zoe.
I dropped out for a minute, so you may have covered this, and I might have missed it, in which case I apologise. But the I can't remember the word you used, but the PDF that you showed us right at the beginning of the call, it went a bit screwy somehow. So those of us who aren't on laptops didn't see it at all. Will that be sent out with the email? Will we still be able to see that then?
That is a really good question. So what I'm going to do is at 3 o'clock my time, which is in 2.5 hours, you're automatically going to get an email with a link to the web page where I'll have this video as well as the PDF. So it will be on that page, and as well as a link to purchase the morning hypnosis audio and the bedtime hypnosis audio. So you can listen to those when you're in that highly suggestible state and just automatically reprogram yourself for success. If you don't want the audios, that's okay. I think you're going to get massive value just by being here today. But that option those will all be just right on that page with a link in the email that you get. That's a good question, Zoe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, William.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I've found that there's a couple of things that I call the keys to letting go. One is the jaws, where we hold the words we want to say to others or to ourselves, or the intensity or frustration of what we're going through in life. And the other is the floor of the pelvis, where we hold the fight or flight mechanism. When I mention that to people, they automatically relax those two areas. They take in a deep breath, and it makes it so much easier to trance them. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I've studied with a lot of yogis along the way, and the yogic complete breath is 9191. So what you were talking about earlier about relaxing and breathing down into the belly, at first you're breathing in for a count of 3, holding for 1, breathing out for 3, holding for 1. Then you expand to 5, 1, 5, 1. You do 3 repetitions of each one, and then 7, 1, 7, 1, and then 9, 1, 9, 1. So you're holding your hands in your navel, pointing towards in a triangle. You're breathing in for 3, 1, 3, 1, and then you're breathing in with your fingers in your navel, 5, 1, 5, 1. And then 7, 1, 7, 1, and then finally 9, 1, 9, 1. And then you get to where you're doing 10 cycles of 9, 1, 9, 1, where you breathe in for 9. You only hold for 1, because when you're first learning how to breathe, holding your breath builds up resistance or tension. So if you only hold for 1, you're letting go of the resistance and tension by breathing in and breathing out rather than the holding. So anyway.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, this is one of those rabbit trails. I love going down these different rabbit trails and learning different techniques and different ways of help. And the breath work is one I haven't explored deeply. So one that I know that can be really simple. I love that one, and I'm going to explore it more. But a lot of times I'll talk about a 7-11 breath, where you inhale for a 7 count, and it's not 7 seconds, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And what that does is it actually triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. So it lets your body release anxiety. If you ever notice when you're feeling anxious, a lot of times your breath is high in the chest and kind of rapid, and you're almost focusing more on the inhale than the exhale. So when you simply let yourself take that belly breath for a 7-11 count, it can shift you into the parasympathetic. So I love the idea of exploring that yogi breath. I know that's not what you called it, but it can also be very simple. Yeah, go ahead, William.
It also helps release energy cysts. You know, when we go through trauma and drama in life, we biochemically hold in our physical structure. And so when you're breathing out more than you're breathing in, that's a way of releasing the energetic holding cysts, the patterns that are in the body, mind, emotion, spirit.
I love that. That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone? Oh, Matt, I didn't acknowledge you. Matt, Catherine. I think I've acknowledged everyone else. We have 2 Catherines on here. I'm so grateful. Oh, and Amanda. I'm so grateful for all of you here. Thank you so much for being here. Do any of you have any questions or anything you'd like to share before we hop off the call?
I'm a yoga teacher, and I have a number of friends who are yoga therapists. There's on the subject of breath. There's one that's fairly simple. It's called Nadi Shodhana breathing, and what you do is you close off your right nostril, and there's a way to close it off, and I'm just going to show you this way. It's easier. You close off your right nostril and draw your breath in, and then close off your left nostril to draw it out the right. And then if you draw back in through the right and then out through the left, that balances the energy. If
Okay,
you
walk me through this real quick. So you close the right, close the left, and then do you breathe back in this? Do you do it the opposite way the second time?
Yeah, so breathe in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. And that cycle is to balance your energy, the feminine and masculine energy. So the left side is the feminine side. So if you need to calm yourself, the protocol is in through the left, out through the right, in through the left, out through the right. And conversely, if you want to amp yourself up a little more, you breathe through the masculine side, which is in through the right, out through the left, in through the right, out through the left. And then the simplest way is to do it this way, but the way it's taught is you put these 2 fingers on your third eye, and then you use your ring finger to do the work of closing your nostrils off. It's so if you wanted to research yogi breath, you would research pranayama. There's so many, just like what William was saying, and there's so much to what I just described. It's not unlike tapping. It's a pretty simple, it's a pretty simple thing to do, but there's probably layers and layers of things under it to explain, but that little bit works.
I love that. Matt, you should do a video on that and let me know, and I'll share it on my page.
So one of the best books to get on breath for yogic breathing is The Science of Breath by Yogi Swami Ramadama. Okay, so it explains everything about breath. When you breathe the way that he was talking about, it actually allows you to access and change brain states. Periodically, every 2 hours through the day, our brain shifts because our breath shifts from our right nostril to our left nostril. And so when you breathe in through a certain nostril, it shifts you to the opposite side of the brain and then back the other way. And then there's so many breaths we take during the day, so many breaths that we take enliven the different nerve plexuses known as the chakra system through the body. So breathing is, breathing is life.
That's awesome. I love that. And I see Jacqueline saying in the chat that it's been really beneficial for her to get more into breath work lately.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this conversation. That's so cool. I love that I got to learn during this call. All right, anyone else? Yeah, Catherine.
Hi everybody, and hi Laurie.
Hi.
I was just wondering, when are you going to send us this email with I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch when you were going to send us the email. Is that in 2.5 hours time?
Yes, it is. So in 2.5 hours, but here, what I'm going to do, it's going to be the same page that you signed up for this session. I'm going to go in and readjust the page so that now it's the replay and the resources.
Okay.
So I don't have it set up yet. It won't, I'm going to put it all together after this, but I'm going to put a link in the chat right now. So it's my website. Okay, you guys, look at my pants.
I love it.
These are my trancy pants. So my website is trancypants.com.
Yep.
And then it's /content. All lowercase.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't send that the right way. Send it to everyone. Okay, so there's the link.
Yep.
And if you happen to not see the email, in the next couple hours, all this stuff will be loaded up there and ready for you to access it. So you'll have that PDF, you'll have the daily audios and everything you need. And you can always email me if there's anything else you need.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
so
question,
much.
Catherine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Good. I'm so glad. All right. Anyone else? I'm peeking around my camera. Okay, well, and I see I have 16 non-video participants, so I just want to tell you all how grateful I am that you are here today. And I will see you. I see Jacqueline just turned on her video. Jacqueline, did you want to chat before we? Oh, what a pretty background you have. It looks like you're in a castle or something. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Reach out to me anytime if you need any extra support, if you want a one-on-one session. I'm here for you, and I'm grateful for all of you. Have a great day, everyone.